The title reads, had the most unexpected evening with a lovely woman. Not sure what to do next. So this guy's 28. He says, haven't really been in the dating game for long and mostly been on my own. I think that's the same for most men in this generation, but it's good to know you're getting out there, because I do think men and women are better together. That's if you find the right woman and not someone who's going to ruin your life. But yeah, just make sure to look out for the red flags. He says, I got out of a relationship some time ago since we were both incompatible and there wasn't much hope for the future. Well, sometimes you need a bad relationship experience to learn from, and then you can look for the right woman and keep an eye out for those possible red flags that you've had from your previous relationship. He says, however, I ended up staying in a new country, flew to be with my ex initially, and I've been pushing myself to go out and meet new people and have all kinds of experiences. He says even he's hooked up with someone for the first time and realised something like that isn't for me. I'm an emotional guy and chemistry matters a lot. Yeah, the hookup culture I don't think is beneficial for either men or women. I do think it probably has more of a negative effect on women because they do get caught up in their feelings, while I think some men can just sleep with someone and move on and go to the next. But yeah, I still don't think it's good for either men or women. And he realised it's not good for him, so he wants to be in a long-term relationship instead, so that's why he's gone down this route. Anyway, on the night of the hookup, I left the scene and just went out to a pub where I could grab a drink and maybe dance to some music. I guess this guy went on his own, so he has a lot of confidence. When I was there, I noticed a woman, a bit older than me, grooving to the music I couldn't take my eyes off of. So he's had a few pints, he's got some of that Dutch courage, and he's staring this girl down until she recognises him. It's a bold strategy. We made some eye contact and danced together. Okay, yeah, so this guy has a bit of confidence, and even though she might be a bit older, I don't know how much older, she seems to be interested in him too. Eventually sat down and ended up talking for a couple of hours until the staff had to kick us out. All good signs, but I hope you went in for the kiss. I hope you weren't just chewing her ear off with all your talk for 3 hours without making a move. We walked to another place nearby with good music and continued dancing. This is where things took an interesting turn. Well, I would have, after the first place, just try and see if you can go back to hers or go back to yours. Open a bottle of wine and see what comes up. But hey, they're having a good time. They want to have a nice little dance. There's obviously some chemistry there. I guess it's fine to go to a second or third venue. Let me have a drink of mulled wine before I go to the next paragraph. It is Christmas, after all. I think I've overheated it though. I think all the alcohol has left it. Anyways, he continues to say our eye contact was no longer just a friendly thing. I felt the vibe. I smiled and told her, listen, I'm feeling a bit tipsy, so if I flirt with you, stop me, okay? I don't think that's a very good line, but apparently she laughed, so okay. She laughed and at the end told me I had nothing to worry about and lead into me. Well, it sounds like she maybe has a bit more balls than this guy. I think that's a bit of a weak chat-up line, if that's what he was trying to do, but hey, it looks like it worked. Again, eyes met, hands behind her waist, her hands around my neck, and we ended up kissing. Hallelujah. It's a Christmas miracle. Kept blushing, smiling, kissing, talking, dancing. Hours flew by, we settled down a bit and continued our conversation until it was time to go. See, at this point, again, he's kind of just dragging it out. You know, you've had a kiss, she's obviously into you. Take her back to yours, bro. Stop pissing about, dragging this out. I think she obviously wanted to be kissed, and she probably wanted something more as well, instead of staying around in a pub, drinking more alcohol, which could lead to something messy, especially if neither of you can control your alcohol too well. We exchanged numbers and she messaged me after reaching home and said, I had a lovely time with you, thank you so much, I feel blessed. So you didn't take her home, you didn't do the gentlemanly thing of taking her to her place. Maybe she wanted you to take her back and she might have invited you in. So this seems a bit yeah, I don't know why you're not really setting up the possibility to have sex, but hey, maybe she has a boyfriend at home she doesn't want you to know about. I responded in a similar fashion, feeling all the butterflies I could. Aha. Well, it's been a day since, and I'm not sure what to expect. A part of me wants to keep talking to her, and I can't get our evening out of my head, but also know I should keep my expectations low. But why is this guy going in with like a negative outlook? I think that's one of the reasons why he was so wish-washy when it came to trying to kiss her and take her back to his place or go to her place. I think he lacks experience, but also lacks that self-confidence. She was obviously into you, she gave you all the signs, and I just don't think you kind of took full advantage of the situation. But yeah, she might not message you again, but that's fine because a woman might be testing you. I'd say message her maybe tomorrow or the day after and set up the next day. It's as simple as that. You don't need to talk her out of liking you with multiple messages, because it sounded like you spoke enough on the night. I think you must have spent at least 6 hours together if I did my calculations right. So keep it chill, keep it relaxed, and set up the next date. No big deal. He finishes by saying, "This has never happened to me. All of my romances in my life so far happened through long distance, over text, or some sort of involvement where the chemistry was never this way." Well, yeah, and all those previous experiences sounded like boring pen pals. It's good that you finally met someone in person who lives close by, and you kissed on the first date, if you can call it the first date. So yeah, I understand this is a bit of a shock to you, but if a woman's really into you, this is how it should feel. But now don't fall over yourself and cause more obstacles than there needs to be. All you got to do is ask her out on the next day and don't over text her, and I'm sure she'd be up for it. But make sure you plan a date where you can set up going back to her house or your house. Maybe invite her over for some food instead of bring a bottle of wine, and yeah, just start with being at your house. You know, she's met you before. She's, you know, she knows you're real. She knows you're not creepy, so you've already got over that barrier. On the positive side, I'll look back on this experience as something that taught me a thing or two. Why is he talking like this experience is now over and now she's left his life? Like, no, bro, you're still in the game. There's still very good possibility that you can develop this. And if you do want to know what you could learn, a thing or two, it's firstly your self-doubt and also not making the move sooner. He ends by saying, "But I think it'll be sad if she never texts again." Well, yeah, she might not text you again because she wants you to take the lead. So you got to send that first message. You got to maybe give her a phone call. Like, you've seen her in person already. Drop her a phone call. She knows your voice. But yeah, I'm worried this guy is going to shoot himself in the foot and fumble real hard here, because she's obviously into him. You had a lot of fun together. You danced on stage. That's a really cute memory. Like, she's going to tell all her girlfriends about that. I met a random guy at the pub. We had lots of drinks. We had lots of fun. We danced. We went to multiple venues. Oh, that's a romance story. Women love that. So use that to your advantage and set up a next date. Anyway, that's all, guys. Cheers. See ya.